Starting in the 2024 NFL Draft Combine, the NFL will no longer have cognitive tests for NFL QBs. It's the first time in history this has happened, and mainly it's due to CJ Stroud and what he did the previous year. He scored a low number, and that number was a 18 out of a possible 100. It got leaked early in the draft process last year, and he was ultimately mocked. Many believe this would potentially tank his draft stock, which it obviously did not. At the time, CJ Stroud had a quote saying, "I'm not a test taker, all I do is play ball," and he was right. And I just think this is an interesting trend where the NFL is currently going. Because I don't know if the draft combine is going to be a thing in 10 or 15 years, especially for the quarterback position. You already have guys not wanting to throw at the draft combine. For example, this year, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels aren't going to throw at the combine. They're going to wait for their pro day. I just think in the future, I don't know if the draft combine is going to be around. Looking at it at face value already, most of it is pretty pointless. I mean, we could all think about Tom Brady's combine and just point and laugh at that, saying how bad it was and whatnot. But it really doesn't matter because combine drills and skills and tests, they don't necessarily translate to on-field production. It really only is a tell for a player's athleticism, and athleticism doesn't equate to an all-around great NFL player. I mean, who cares about the shuffles and the verticals? Yeah, sometimes it's cool. Like, I remember Byron Jones, the corner, broke a bunch of records one year, and that was pretty cool. And, the 40-yard dash is always a fun time. Shout out Tavon Austin, college legend. But do they really matter at the end of the day? I know watching quarterbacks throw is kind of neat and kind of fun, and seeing receivers catch in that 4-ball drill, I don't know what they call it, but seeing them, it's kind of fun. Sometimes you get to see the explosiveness of DNs and whatnot, but I just think it's pointless as a whole. So I think this is an interesting trend going forward, and I think this is more or less the beginning of the end of the draft combine. Because I'm telling you, who knows, probably in 5 years, I don't think any quarterbacks will throw at the draft combine. I mean, think about it. If you have high value going into the draft, why would you throw? You have nothing to prove. And even if you have a solid value, why would you want to risk it and throw it to a bunch of people you have no chemistry with, when in a couple weeks you're going to be throwing with your teammates and you have everything all set and ready to go to look as sharp as you possibly can? I just remember when Teddy Bridgewater was coming out of the draft. Two-glove Teddy decided to throw at the combine, and it was rough, it was ugly. It's just, throwing at the combine is risky, and it's just kind of an unnecessary risk when you have a pro day 2 weeks from the combine. So this could be it for the draft combine. Enjoy it while it lasts. In other draft news, Caleb Williams is not going to go to the league with an agent. That is a bold move. Obviously, Lamar Jackson notoriously did not have an agent when he got his massive contract extension. His mom was doing all the negotiating, so maybe Caleb Williams' mom will help him, or maybe he'll just do it himself. I don't know. Maybe he has an uncle like Kawhi Leonard. Shout out Uncle Dennis, I believe his name is. Could be potentially interesting. Caleb Williams is already turning up to be a pretty polarizing, entertaining player, and he hasn't even played one snap yet, so I love it. I love it. Like I mentioned earlier, Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels will not be throwing at the Combine. And Combine starts today, or it already started, depending on when I upload this and when you watch it. So, exciting stuff. The draft is around the corner. Free agency is up first. Exciting times right now. Exciting times. I just have a few predictions for this Combine. I know Combine, no one really cares, but every year there's a few people that just kind of like stand out and kind of like gain a lot of momentum heading into the draft. So you got to pay attention to that. But I think this year JJ McCarthy is going to be, I just have a funny feeling he's going to light it up with his legs, his arm, and his interviews. I just have a hunch he's really going to, his draft stock is going to go up a lot. Watch. And Penix, man, I'm really just excited to see him throw. Like, I don't really have a prediction, but I'm just excited to see him throw. I'm curious what his interviews are like, because I don't really... He's had some interesting quotes in the past, and I don't know much about his character, but I'd be curious to see how he does on the interviews. Obviously, we won't get full transparency with how he does, but it'll be interesting to pay attention to see him throw with that left arm. It's gonna be exciting, and yeah, it's pretty much all I got. Excited for a few viral moments, and let's get it, man. Let's get it. Calm before the hectic NFL offseason truly begins, and I'm looking forward to it. So that's all I got right now. Peace.
The Buccaneers are ready to run back this kick. And Randy Bullock looks set now to kick it away. Takes it from the gun. Brandon Oliver with the grab. Gains 12.
Nobody cares. Just get the job done. Throw it deep down the field or throw it short to the running back, and look at those extra yards after the short pass.
The Chargers have it at the 39. And they bring him down at the 44-yard line. That's a nice, powerful statement as they establish the run at the beginning of this game.
Yeah, Jim, you're right. I'm going to give the offense a little credit here, but, you know, somewhere, I don't know, maybe the defense is going to have to put some weights in their pockets. You got to hang in there and make the tackle.